okay? It's 5:45 in the morning, and I want to show you the hardest part of running, especially when you open the door and you got this.
Like, wow, the day sucks.
But here's what I want to do today. I want to show you how to layer. I want to show you how to dress for whatever weather you have to contend with. Spring, you start dealing with rain. And in the summer months, honest to God, it's not a problem to go out in the rain. It always sucks to walk out the door when it's pouring rain, but within 10 minutes, you're wet anyway from sweat, so don't worry about it. But when the weather's a little bit cooler and it's raining and you're still going to go out in the rain, note, you're still going to go out in the rain, you want to get yourself a rain jacket that has ventilation underneath the armpits. This way you can wear it and you can protect yourself from the rain for some miles, but you're not overheating in it because you can vent in the armpits. If it's chilly, you can zip the pits back up. This is where everybody wants to know, what do you do when it starts getting cold outside? Lots of folks go inside and they start running on the treadmill. It's a great option. The biggest problem besides the colder temperatures is that it's dark. And anybody who's female knows that they tend to get a little bit nervous when it's dark outside and you want to run with a partner. But if you have no issues, you've got a partner, or you live in a neighborhood where you feel entirely safe, there's no issue with running outside in the dark. There's a few things that you need to do first thing in the morning. It's dark at 5:30. The first thing I have, and we call ourselves the people of the lantern, is you buy yourself a headlamp. And it gives you just enough light, number one, to be seen by cars, but also enough light where you can see where your foot is falling, because you're always worried about what you're going to find on the pavement. Start wearing a long sleeve t-shirt. This is the same fabric as my short sleeve, but the sleeves are just long enough where I'm getting a little bit more warmth. They also have sleeves that I can roll up or push up my arm, because no matter how cold it gets, at some point on your run you're likely to start feeling overheated, and you want to be able to roll your sleeves up. So pay attention when you buy a shirt that you can roll your sleeves up. When it starts hitting about 45 degrees, this doesn't feel enough, especially in conjunction with my longer pants. I'll start wearing longer pants at about 50 degrees, sometimes 45 degrees. Up until 50 degrees, I'm really happy with my t-shirt. With my shorts. The only thing I add when it's 50-ish is a long sleeve t-shirt like the one I have on right now. But below 50, around 45, I kick in the pants instead of the shorts. And I'll add what I call the ugly vest. I wear my long sleeve t-shirt and I wear a vest. And it's hideous and it can be seen from miles away, but I love it because I can zip it and unzip it. It has a pocket that I can carry my gloves, because when it starts hitting around 35 degrees, I also start wearing gloves. And these are gloves that you can buy at Walmart, 3 in a pack for $5. And I leave them in a drawer right by my, right where I go out, so I always have my gloves. By the time it starts hitting about 30 degrees, you want to add a hat. And what I love about some hats is they have reflective bands around it. Remember, when it's really cold out, it's when the light isn't shining. So you want to be able to be seen at night, particularly if there's snow on the ground. The other thing I use when it's about 35 degrees is I bought myself a reflective jacket. This isn't quite as good as a rain jacket, but it's good if there's a little moisture in the air. And what's nice, if I start to overheat, I can pull my jacket sleeves off, and it's just a vest. And this I can replace with this, my ugly vest and my yellow vest. This I like when it's a little bit misty outside and when I'm worried about visibility. This I wear more for warmth, but they're roughly about the same temperatures that I go out in. I'm looking at this about 35, 40 degrees. So where the fun starts kicking in is when it drops below freezing. When it drops below freezing, this is when most people want to go and climb back into their bed. Here's what I do. The first thing I do is I add a set of underwear. The interesting thing about your legs, you think you need to layer your legs, but you really don't. The only time I feel like I need an additional layer to cover my rump roast is at about, I'd say about 18 degrees or lower. And then I'll add a pair of sports underwear because they wick and they add just enough protection to my rump to keep my bum from going completely frozen. So remember, your legs don't need that much protection. They really keep warm. It's your upper body that you want to play with the layers. But if you're living in a really cold area, you might want to invest in a heavier pair of pants. And these are wind-resistant pants. They have an extra layer, a thermal layer inside of them that covers your thigh, because this is where the wind will hit you. And it doesn't go all the way down because you need the flexibility in the knee. It has some safety features in the back, which are reflective zippers. But what you want to pay attention to when you buy a pair of winter thermal running pants, read the reviews, because where they tend to go bad is on the zipper in the back, and then you've got them flapping when we're talking probably under 10 degrees. Very rarely will I break out the balaclava, but I'll put the balaclava on and probably not wear a hat, because the heat will rise from your head and you really will overheat. But there are days where I like to bring it up over my mouth, and I'm talking really, really cold. And it works just fine. When you start to overheat, and even on a day where it's 20 degrees outside, if you're dressed too heavily, and you'll have to play with the layering system. I know my layering system. I know at what temperature I'm going to break out my ugly vest, for instance, at what temperature I'm going to bring out my heavier pants. When you start to overheat, and you will while you're experimenting, the first thing you want to do is take off your hat. When you release the heat from your head, you'll regulate your body, you'll suddenly feel a lot lighter, and you won't feel as tired. 90% when you start feeling tired is because you're overheated. By the time I hit temperatures of around 20 degrees, this is my favorite piece of gear. It's a reflective top that's very lightweight, and it's got a thermal layering, and like I said, it's completely reflective. And I'll wear it over just this. So it could be 0 degrees outside. This, with this, my hat and my glove system is all I need. When it's really cold again, I'm talking 0 degrees, sometimes I'll wear my mitts, and I have an extra mitten layer. It's all about layering. And the reason it's all about layering is when you get too hot, you pull this off, and you've got this, you tuck it in your pocket, and you can play back and forth. Most people wonder, in the winter time, and it's snowing outside, do you have to wear anything different on your feet? And the answer is no. What you want to wear on your feet is a very slim-fitting pair of socks. And these are socks that hug the shape of your foot. And this way you can run for miles in the dead of summer or in the winter time, and they're shaping your foot so that you don't, even if you have moisture, even if you're stepping in puddles and getting your feet wet, even if you're tromping through snow, it fits your feet closely enough so you don't develop blisters. These are my pair of running shoes, or these are my old running shoes. I wear a size 8 street shoe, but if you're going to be running any kind of distance, any kind of weather, you want to remember that you want to buy your running shoes half a size larger than your street shoes. These are an 8.5. You want to buy them larger so you don't end up with black toenails. You can run all weather. You can run in the rain, you can run in the snow. When it's snowing outside, wait for the snow plow or follow on the trails of the cars, the tire tracks. No excuses. Rain, snow, dark, heat. Go out and do it. Figure out your own system. If you're interested in seeing where you can buy some of the gear that I bought, I'm happy to provide the links down below. Check it out. Here's the secret. Never, ever ask yourself, do you feel like going out? Don't even ask yourself the question. This is what you say. Running is what I do. This is just what I do. It's like brushing my teeth. You don't even make it a choice. You just do this. You watching? This is the hard part now.